Celebration Park, North Pond this round. I headed out to the North Pond at Celebration Park and checked out things. When we first showed up, we saw actually a couple of catfish kind of hanging around here. Water was fairly clear, pretty surprising. Threw some bait in the water, some bread, and you can see all these little bluegill. And just a moment ago in the inset, you can see the two-piece micro fly rod that we're going to use. And here's another view of it. Using a little Tenkara fly, and we're kind of doing double duty here. We've got the Water Wolf camera out with some bread for bait on one of our spinning reels, and then we've got the two-piece micro fly rod to play around with while we're hoping to get some bites. And in the inset, you may see a glimpse of a catfish as well as some bluegill and sunfish kind of hovering around in the area, and hopefully we would be able to get some bites, some action shots with that camera. That said, we did spend a lot of time playing around with the micro fly rod and these little bluegill and sunfish. No bruisers. We did see some nice looking ones kind of hiding in there, but it was mainly these little guys. And here's one that's coming in right now on the orange and white Tenkara fly. There's a good idea of how the two-piece micro fly rod casts, and it's a fairly good cast ability with it. There's another fish coming in. Alright, that's a little guy. Cool beans. Alright, there's a couple of casts just to show you that you can see that the rod handles well on this little line. And of course we've got another fish on the line on that Tenkara fly. Alrighty, little sunfish. Try it again. Alright, and then we dropped the camera at one point, and we could see that there's a little embankment or a concrete deal that goes around the pond, and it's kind of surprising how many fish can fit in one little hole. And counted about 3 or 4 going in, and about 3 or 4 coming out, and not sure how many were in there, but I guess it was enough to hang out for a little bit. And here we're showing you where we're using the Water Wolf camera. We've got it deployed. We've got a fish that had taken the line, or at least what we thought was a fish, and it turned out to be a turtle. And of course those turtles do like to have the bread for bait, as well as some of the live bait we were using, and so they definitely were some bait stealers this round. And here's some underwater video shots of that Water Wolf camera. Here's where we're getting the a piece of bread being deployed, and lo and behold, we run into something. Looks like an intake or some kind of intake in the pond. And here we've got some bread in the water, and you'll see a little bluegill there, and then something's going to scare it off, and right behind it something else will pop up. Should be here shortly. There he is. It's a catfish, and he scoops it up, and he actually spits it out fairly quickly, and right behind it you'll see something kind of creep in there. There he is, another one of those turtles. And here I think turtle's going to come out of the blue. No, it's a catfish, and he's going to give it a bite and run off with it. And what we think this round, we need to adjust the hook. We were using a bigger hook, and of course we had the turtles running off, taking our bait. And here's a catfish kind of lingering about. And then here's another catfish. This one kept hitting at the bait and kept going around and about. And, the bait you don't see because it got knocked around a little, but this guy definitely wanted something. Like we said, we think we need to adjust the size of our hook. Had a much larger size hook, and here just to give you an idea that there are some bluegill, sunfish, and we think there's another fish in there. If you kind of peek in there, you'll see a darker colored one, slightly larger than the rest, kind of right peek in there. And we kind of slowed things down, and we got a glimpse of it briefly, and it may be an Oscar. Alright, till next time, we'll catch y'all later, and good luck and good fishing.